Hey everyone, welcome Radical Geek YouTube channel. Happy coffee talk. So I don't know how this is gonna work out, but it's too late now because everything is here. And also we're going with salad tonight. As it turns out, oh, I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, so the stuffed waffle maker literally is like 2 stops away. And so I did not make a chocolate batter, and we're just gonna go with salad. But it's delicious hot toppings, and it is gonna be on the Blackstone for our shrimps. So awesome. We also, you guys are really super lucky because we almost had special guest naked neighbor boy throwing a tantrum. So hey, luckily that didn't have to happen. Oh, thank you guys. Anyway, so I see J-Dog's here, Sharon's here, Exchange Student 2's here, our beloved air frying auntie. My gosh, I can't believe you're still sick. I'm so sorry for those of you guys who got ill. I see Reikwin and Jen and our Hungry Horde beloved leaders, Shelly and Heath, are here. Awesome. I am a Johnny Cash fan. Oh, you were asking J-Dog, but I was like, no, I love Johnny Cash. I was trying to convince Miriam that she should really love Johnny Cash too, but that was a big no. So, they're very small children. So, you know, that happens sometimes when they're teeny tiny. So, anyways, I'm kind of, it's not like adult people, so, you know, that's a different event. I'm gonna go ahead and I think for just a minute talk to you about this coffee drink called the Guillermo, because I wanted to, it's one thing to say, like, normally we get history and facts, and there isn't any for this drink, because no matter where you go, everybody's telling everybody that they're liars and it came from somewhere else. So I'm not doing the naked keto channel, but you know, it's not actually I can't even say that I love Johnny Cash all the time. What I really love is his rendition of Hurt. It's probably the best rendition I've ever heard, and it gives me the feels every time. And I feel like I'm not alone in that, because like even Trent Reznor, who wrote the song, says, you know, that song's his now. So I'm good with that. Let me stop waving my knife in the air. You know, if I were on like Worst Cooks with Anne Burrell or somebody, she'd be like yelling at me for waving my knife. So, but the Guillermo, it has history. Italians like to claim it, Spain likes to claim it, Mexico likes to claim it, California likes to claim it. The most that I know, oh hey Just Renee, thanks for joining, is that the first time I had it, I was home in New Mexico, and it was a nice summer coffee treat, and that's all there is to it. So I'm going with, you know, it's yes, I know, and it's a nice little cleaver too. Look at, by the way, you guys, check this cleaver out. It's like your traditional, only it's really small in size, so it fits the stature of a smaller handed persons like myself. So I always thought that was really cool. It makes it a lot easier to handle. It's an Imarku knife, so not like some kind of massive fancy brand, probably won't last for long, but it is super sharp, and so I'm not unhappy with them. So what the Guillermo is, though, is an espresso that is brewed over a couple lime slices. And I bet that I wish that I had brought myself an extra spare fork, but we'll just deal with that as it comes. I'm gonna take my lime. By the way, it's important that you want them to be, you want to massage your lime, give it a good roll, which gets the juices going on it. You should always do that when you're doing lemons or limes. We don't do oranges on keto. Well, at least I don't do oranges on keto. Oh, thanks, Just Renee. I'm glad you like it. We got really lucky with this one. It doesn't have like the air fryer, which I kind of would like to have someday. All right, I'm gonna cut my lime in half, and I'm gonna give myself a good hearty slice from the middle two sides. And I'm gonna just dump this right into my cup. You can brew into another device and pour it over, but I brought my cup. I've got my limes in there. I forget where my camera is because it's not my usual setup, and we're a little far, but it is what it is. But I just put my limes right in there, and this is my, I don't know what mic it's using actually, to be honest. It just says my mic auxiliary, so it could be my desktop or it could be the webcam, which means there's no audio canceling. So I have my espresso maker, and I'm just going to go ahead and brew this real quick so we can be done with the noise. And if it's really loud, give me like the big thumbs down and I will shut the microphone off while it finishes brewing, if that sounds like a good plan. And I know I keep looking over here when the camera is over here. I know you guys can see my laptop. I'm trying to see what you guys are talking about. I see that Sharon got a waffleizer, the Power XL stuffed waffleizer. That's so cool. And yeah, I was interested in the wings by Shelly and Hungry Heath too. So then I'll tell you some more amusing stories. All right, I'm turning this on. Here we go. But yeah, so you totally just brew right over onto the lime slices. That's actually really important because after you've massaged them and got the juices going, the heat from the espresso also brings up forward that citrus. By the way though, don't ever think about doing like that ridiculous TikTok thing where they're mixing espresso with orange juice. That's not the same profile at all. That's disgusting. Don't do it. Any of them who are saying it's good are liars. They're just doing it for TikTokedness, and you'll see other TikToks where they're like, they tried it and they're like, okay, how did people even take big swallows of it? And it's almost done, and all of the noise has passed. Just Renee's asking how I get my Blackstone nice looking, and some of that is the camera, but also some other parts of it. I want to save my lime. Well, it is what it is. I have a plastic glove. I'll set it on and put it to the side over here. Really, it's just use. And it looks nicer on the camera than it does right here in person, because you can see that it gets like a couple spots here and there and some modeling to the finish. But that happens over time as it evolves. But as long as you continue using it, it'll get just like this. Remember that we've had ours a few years now, so it's really good. And all right, so I can show you this. So I know it's not my desktop, but it has the small head on it, and the limes have floated to the top, so they're going. You set this aside and you let it steep for a couple minutes. So while we do that, I was hoping that I keep hoping that that stuffed waffle maker is gonna make an appearance, but yeah, it is. It actually is really nice. I've got the machine pulling just the way I like it, so that's awesome. And am I ever glad? The sun is just perfect now. Earlier today I was a bit worried because the sun was like blaring down and it was like broiling out here. Exchange student 2, you should tell them you'll take it right off their hands. Exchange says that their neighbor has a Blackstone and hates it. Sometimes they don't like it because even though I think it's easy, it can be kind of fussy, and if you don't use it frequently, it can it can have problems and it can be fussy. And if there's a lot of high humidity or things like that going on, you have to take care of it even if you're not cooking on it. So it can be fussy, and then once you start having a problem with it, getting ahead of it and making it work becomes very cumbersome. And once you get care of it, yeah, that can happen, but it goes back to being fine. Shoo, before you get fried. An outdoor insect. There we go. It's just one of those things. Once something goes awry with it, it's not hard to fix, but it is some elbow grease, and sometimes people really give up way too fast. The nice thing about it is you literally cannot ruin them. Even if you left this out in the winter and the whole steel roll went to rust, you can look online and find a sandblasting service near me, give them a call, and they can sandblast it all off and you just start all over. And let's see. Oh, Exchange Student 2 said they'd probably give it to them, that they gave us the Ryder lawnmower and got a new one just because. Dang. I don't think that any of my neighbors are going to do that. I wish eventually I'll just show you guys like our yard, because we have all our neighborhood is like really, really perfectly groomed, and then there's us, and I've got I've got a bee friendly yard is what I've got. So it's like violets and dandelions and all over. We've got wildflowers just growing. I bet, and sometimes I think that the neighbors probably wish we would take care of our yard. And we do take care of it, we just take care of it differently. Plus, like in the front, as part of our display is my garden. I have my jalapeno patch and the herb patch, which is probably not something people normally do for part of their decorative landscaping, but I think it's great. So Jen is asking if I've made caulifried rice on my Blackstone. Thinking of trying it this week. I have. It was fantastic. I stinking love it. I recommend that whatever if you're gonna put meat, get like some good thick sliced bacon and ham, and do that first and kind of scoot it to the side, but don't scrape off all the grease yet. Then throw your cauli rice and all your flavoring and seasonings into that, and then scoot it off. Then do your meats, your primary meats, like if you're doing shrimps or lobsters, cook them, and all of your vegetables, get that going, and then mix it all together. That's the best way. Then you can scrape everything right off. So, all right. So I forgot to bring myself a spare fork or something to fish these out, but you don't keep your limes in here. I don't know why. It probably wouldn't hurt anything if I left it in there, but I think it's probably for the drinking ease. But you fish them out and you discard them. I have no idea if they would get bitter or something, but good enough. We're outside. It's very weird, but oddly refreshing. So I would say it's probably an acquired taste. And if you're not used to doing weird stuff with your coffee, you might not like it. You may want sweetener. I don't really tend to bother with sweetener. Sweetener, I have no idea if that would enhance it or make it weirder. But I really love it. Again, though, because I grew up with stuff like this, because it's the middle of the desert and we like things to get freshened up. Oh, and Exchange Student 2 says our yard sounds nice, and I say thank you. And Exchange Student 2 says they want to make a corned beef pastrami Reuben pancake thing tonight, but they've got to process pork rind crumbs first. Well, that doesn't take too long unless you're doing it by hand and not in the food processor. Let me see here what I've got, because we'll talk about cooking. What I need to do first, so that it has a chance to marry just a little bit, is toss together my little dressing. In my dressing bowl, I have a half teaspoon of cumin, about a quarter teaspoon each of salt and pepper, and a little more than a quarter teaspoon of chili flakes. I used the flat iron pepper Asian reds, even though this is something that's more of a Hispanic flair for the salad. I like the way the Asian red flakes taste in it because it has like it really goes with citrus. And the dressing here, oh, Sky says the heat may release the oils in the skin that could make it bitter. I'm pretty sure that's probably correct. Anyways, I've got a quarter cup of avocado oil. And then a quarter cup of lime juice. I think mostly a lot of people use lemon juice. I just really love lime. I know that they're technically the same fruit, but I don't think they taste the same. And if I've got a Guillermo coffee, then I'm gonna have lime profiles throughout my entire meal. And we just give this a whisk so that we bust up the spices and the cumin and let that start to marry, because eventually we're gonna put our vegetables in there. Oh, let's see. You guys, I feel really bad because my dog wants to come outside, but now he's too late. I tried to get him to come earlier and he didn't want to. So, if anyone in my household is paying attention or listening, they're welcome to come bring the dog outside, but it's also not necessary. Anyways, you just need to give this a little bit of a whisk to emulsify it all. I'm gonna leave the whisk there because I might re-whisk it again. So, oh, and Hungry He says after we're done with the live stream, they're recording a 3-week MS Journey recap and then starting a new batch of Texas 5 Spice. I love that Texas 5 Spice. By the way, that's like the weirdest favorite thing about my Blackstone that I have is that it has that little paper towel holder. I have to take the paper towels on and off during the nighttime because I worry about weather. He does sound like a cat. By the way, I think sometimes because he grew up with cats, sometimes he meows and it's hilarious. But I digress. And yes, that is, his name is Dyson, rightfully so. When we were looking up names for Pomeranians, a lot of people recommended vacuum cleaners or vacuum, and we were like, that's not really good. Hey, you can't be down here. So his lead is across the way. What? Oh, yes. Oh, hey guys, I just got a delivery. It's here. So guess what we'll do a video of tomorrow? Yay, stuffed waffle maker. Let's cook dinner and then we can open it. So anyways, so that's the vinaigrette part. Now just so you know, I've got a big bowl of ice here with stuff in it. What I've got for the vegetables is a diced jalapeno and like teeny tiny dices, almost like minced, super teeny tiny, because they will, that's how they get mixed into the flavors. I've got some finely chopped cilantro and a little bit of diced onion and some tomato chunks. I used Campari tomatoes because that's what we had, and they're small and very, very sweet and tasty. Something bit me. So that's all the vegetables for the salad. So when I told you I was making a keto salad, I was not joking because there's not a big pile of lettuce or anything like that. Let me turn on the Blackstone. Oops. I've set off the dog alarm because something squeaked. It's all right. It's okay. Can you come? Here, I'm gonna.
Yeah, well, hold them up too for the camera.
Here. Sorry about that, guys. It just disappeared. There we go. Small dog. So anyways, but let's see. Oh, and Sky said they had a dog named Hoover for the same reason. Yes. Now I've turned it all the way up for just a second while it comes out, but in just a second I'm actually going to turn it all the way down. Rarely should you cook all the way on high on your Blackstone. There are, of course, exceptions to that rule, but not every time. But here's the important thing. I now also have things to make a shrimp marinade. Move my shrimps and meats over here. It's all right, you can just leave him. He can be underfoot. So yes, tiny dog, big attitude, drama, very dramatic. That is every Pomeranian. They have a small dog complex. So what I have here is a 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder. To that, I am adding a tablespoon of melted butter. And to that melted butter, the next thing I am adding is a very teeny tiny bit of more of chili flakes. It's actually ground into powder, and I just continued with that Asian red. You can use more if you want, less if you want. I'm gonna move my little dish container because I'm burning my little carry case. So impromptu, I forget how hot it gets right on the edges of these Blackstones. So let me just turn it down. Actually, probably didn't need to even turn the entire Blackstone on, but it is what it is. You know, it's all right. The next thing I have, it's really hard to see, but I've got the zest from one whole lime. So it probably is about, it's maybe a 1/4 teaspoon, but you definitely want to be generous with the lime zest. Again, like I said, that's the theme carrying it through. Lime juice, lime zest, and spicy. And then here, I know that some people will not love this part. Here's my evil ooze. I've got about a 1/2 cup. And I'm dumping that in. But please, you do not have to make this spicy if you do not like it that way. You can use whatever hot sauce you enjoy. I wouldn't use like a garlicky gringo though. I would pick a red one. If you really need a mild hot sauce, you can use I wrote it in the description with the recipe, a Cholula. That's a really nice, very mild brand. It's not hot or spicy, and that would go very nicely, but you do want that red flavor profile. It's a bit more acidic. Oh, I forgot where I put my thing. There we go. It's a little awkward, but we'll be doing this more, so it's gonna have to be awkward, and we're gonna have to learn to live with it. And this is the marinade for the shrimp. And I have these big white shrimp, and I'm gonna just dump it right into my marinade. Get rid of my 2 little dishes. Give that a good stir and get everything coated. And you kind of want to give these a few minutes to sit in the marinade and get all nice and delicious. If we weren't doing it on the live stream, I might have put it in the marinade this morning and left it in the fridge like that. But also this is fine too. All right, and I'm just going to put that back in the ice. Hungry Heath, Evil Ooze is spicy. It is a little bit spicy, and for many people it will be way too much. But I love it, and so that's why I just want to make sure. So, all right. The next thing I have is the chorizo. I've got about a 1.25 cups here. You know, scale it. There's nothing that's anything that's any sort of big deal. You use whatever size you want, however much or however little you want. That will be for later. And it's pretty fatty. I'm just going to dump it on. So now you're going to get all the clangs, but you just dump your meat right onto the sizzling black stone. Give it a good chop to crumble it up. I'll try not to be like too clang happy with my spatula, but you kind of can't help it. But we want to let this get good and browned, or as you know, brown food is safe to eat. And that will take it a few minutes. We'll give it another stir here. Let it sit for a minute. I do not dome this. I like to let it get crispy, and it will be awesome and lovely. And that is how simple this dish is. We have one more chore. There we go. And that is to cut up the avocado. The avocado is like super important to this dish. And by the way, does not work. Whenever they make that video, but there you go. Does not work. Does not just pop out as you press the back. You gotta dig it out. Give it a little, sorry, you have to keep tending to it once in a while so that you get your ground meat. I love that J-Dog said it reminds him of Benihana. I used to love Benihanas with pre-keto, but I don't find that I get a good value now because of all the stuff that I don't have and that I won't eat, even though it's generally really delicious. But there's half an avocado left, and that is why I wanted to save my lime. You don't want your avocado to go brown, so if you're going to save some off, hit it with some citrus on the edge, and that will help it from going brown. I got lucky and it's perfect. Peeled right off. There it is. I changed where I put my my container for my refuse and stuff, and so now I'm discombobulating. All right. That is just about there. So let me cut this up. So you just want some nice big chunks. You don't got to be too wild. You want the chunks because the creaminess of the avocado is going to work with the spicy from your sauces, etc. So you do definitely want all of that. Alright, our chorizo is done, and I'm going to leave my 2 edge burners on, and I'm going to turn these 2 middle ones off. And now I'm going to throw my shrimp on there. So they're definitely nice and coated up in the spicy sauce, which will blend with the spice from the chorizo. I just dump it right on there. Give it a good mix together so it can cook. Shrimp literally only takes a couple seconds. Well, a couple minutes. All right. We'll give that a second to keep going. They're looking good. A piece of pollen just fell on my into my chorizo. How annoying. But also how not surprising for Ohio. All right. So what I'm going to do now is put all my vegetables together. I say vegetables, cilantro is included in vegetables. And I'm going to hit them with this vinaigrette. Give that a little toss. Add in the avocado. And then we are ready. I'm going to put down my salad base. This is an appropriate salad for me because the ratio is good for the meats to the veg. I'll go ahead and shut my griddle off. Almost lost a shrimp, you guys. What a disaster that would be. Let me put a paper towel. And there we go. That is our inspired Latin salad. So it's got that vinaigrette in there with the creamy avocado, the crunchy jalapenos. It's very spicy. I might have overdone it on the chili flakes. But really, really delicious. If you don't like cilantro, if you're one of the people that it tastes like soap, you probably want to put in a couple other herbs instead. Oregano, fresh oregano, not the dried kind. Oh, let's see. Man, and now I've missed so many. Let's see. Oh, and J-Dog says they want some wings. They have a big rack of ribs in the fridge for tomorrow. The Kroger there had St. Louis style ribs for $1.79. Man, we don't have deals like that. What is up with Columbus? We've got no deals. Everything is sky high. So, oh, and Air Fryer Auntie says the asthma of the Blackstone was making them sleepy. So, we'll be. It'll be all right. We're waking up now. What you need is, you probably actually do need rest because you're not feeling well. So good. Hey, 2Fix MJ, nice to see you. But yeah, so that's everything tonight. Really quick and easy peasy. I love being outdoors. I'm not gonna make you guys suffer through the clean. Once we end the live stream, it'll take me like 5 minutes to throw the heat back on and throw some oil down and give it a quick little scrub. So no biggie there. And HEB had ribs for $1.77. Man, jealous, jealous, jealous. I will tell you, it really super pairs great with my Guillermo coffee. I even have some extra dressing if I want to save it for tomorrow, so that'll be super nice. And thanks everybody for the compliments on the plate. I can tell you, not only does this look nice, but man, it is delish. So I'm super pleased with that. So, except for I can't get my food on the fork. There we go. I did not even realize I was this hungry. But like, you know how sometimes you don't think you're hungry, and then you take a couple bites and you realize you were actually ravenous? That's where I'm at. Jen is asking if the coffee would be good iced, and I don't know, I haven't tried it, but I can't see any reason why not. Oh, and Tufik said they made pad thai with shredded cabbage, carrots, onions, and broccoli slaw instead of noodles. That sounds fantastic. And would I eat it cold? You know what? If I wanted to eat it cold, I think I would not use the chorizo, and I would just have the shrimps, or maybe make some extra shrimps. I don't think the chorizo would be good cold because it's very fatty. And while I do enjoy a good amount of fat, cold and solidified chorizo does not do it for me. Very tasty. All right, one more bite. All right, let's open this baby. Maybe it's got an anti-tamper sticker. Oh, and J-Dog says they also don't care for the cold chorizo. But I absolutely think that you could just make extra shrimps and not worry about the chorizo at all. All of the packaging, the instructions that I probably should read, and 50-50 as to whether I will. I have a lot of birds, by the way. We have cardinals and blue jays, and I've got a crow. It's the one thing that we buy, not keto, but on purpose. That's not for like my non-keto kid. We buy veggie straws because the crow really loves them. And that's how we trained him, so like I can pet him and everything. He hasn't been around as much this year, but he did come, and like it's fun because you know that he's become accustomed to it, because he'll bring us things like little wads of tin foil and garbage. So you know, I'm not going to complain. I know it's a little weird. I don't exactly love, you know, get little bits of trash, but hey, you know, means our crow really likes us. So, oh, you know, this thing is much larger. I think it's the same size as the Stuffler. But so here it is. And so, wow, it does have the big deep wells. And then here's your two grippers. So when you make your waffles, they're a little fiddly. There we go. So you'll make your truffle, and then you'll use these to lift it out. I don't know if it's going to be better or worse than the Presto version that has the pincher handle. But so we'll be trying that tomorrow. I have some more chorizo, and I was thinking about making a chorizo and a cheese stuffed truffle. I thought it would be really awesome. So there you go, our fried auntie. Go to bed and feel better soon, I hope. Oh, now I've got such a mess in my yard. It's a good thing though, I don't work tomorrow. So sometimes at the end of the live stream, cleaning up is horrible because I just need to go to bed and I don't have to work tomorrow. I'm thrilled. I'm like really stressed out, but I think because I'm taking another team on that was not supposed to be my team, and that's okay because we're actually delaying the other one that I was going to take over to compensate, but the project's not going as planned, so there's like a lot of upheaval on the onset, and I'm just certain that I've got to get my arms around it and it'll settle down and ease out. I also think that I'm a lot less high-strung than the other person the other project manager, which may bring some calm to it. I think that's, and yes, you're right. If you're thinking, wait, if they're way more high-strung than me, that says something. But yeah. Hey, hey Phyllis, nice to see you. So, oh. All right, good night, Shauna. I hope that you get better quickly. I'm trying to think of whether herbs that would taste good that's not the cilantro, for those of you who don't like cilantro, and I just keep coming back to the oregano. I don't think basil would be very nice. I think that's a terrible flavor that would not blend at all. Doesn't lend itself to the spicy. You could try maybe some, I don't know, maybe just some parsley. But I'm very lucky in that I have no problems with cilantro. I actually really enjoy the taste, so there we go. Let's see. Oh, and we're just enjoying the outside tonight, so that's nice to hear. All right. Oh, and the two effects says they don't think of me as high-strung so much as high energy. Well, that's good. I do try. Oh, this guy says Cherville might work. I don't know if I said that right or not, but good enough. Oh, and of course you only know my YouTube personality. Well, my YouTube personality is maybe a little mellower than in real life. I'm kind of a lot of extra. But that's okay. The people around me they deal with it all right, and every so often they have to tell me to slow my roll just a little bit, and that's okay. That's probably good for me sometimes. I will say that I did, and Jen, earlier you asked how my bike ride went, and I will say it was lovely. It was so perfect, and I know my doctor said take it easy because of my injury here, which by the way, like, you can't even see bruising anymore, so whatever. Oh, and just Renee, how's the white coffee research going? Oh yeah, so I didn't order it. I keep meaning to, and then I find like 3 more websites all proclaiming to be better, and so I keep putting it off and I keep looking, so I'm probably just gonna have to pick one and order it. I will make that a goal to do when I get back from vacation, which starts June 8th. I'll be at Origins Game Fair, and so if you happen to be a nerdy gamer and you're going to Origins, look me up. I'll be in the Amp Guard room, looking very fantasy in my garb and teaching crochet classes, which sounds weird for a gaming convention, but we do other things besides games. I do get to play some games at the Genius Games in the evenings. I've got meetings with a lot of the manufacturers in the mornings, so it's going to be awesome. I'm super looking forward to it. Oh, Sharon, what's your birthday? June 8th? Awesome. Well, we'll have to do something special on the Sunday following. That'll be very cool. Let's see. But, oh yeah, so anyways, I'm supposed to be taking it easy. Oh, J-Dog says they mapped out the drive from Chandler to Houston. It looks like it's a 21-hour drive with charging stops. 21 hours, wow. I wouldn't have expected it to be quite that far. Planning on driving next year for the cruise, which will be cheaper than flying. I think, I don't know, a couple years ago, well, I guess now it's been more than a couple years, but I was playing Ingress and I went to a big event in Atlanta, and I drove from Ohio to Atlanta, and it was about 11 hours, and I felt really done after that. Like, I didn't want to drive much more, knowing that I had to also make the trip back. I felt like that was basically where I'm feeling that's my limit, unless I have an extended period of time to just enjoy the actual travel. And because, like, there was part of me that thought it would be cool to take like an extended vacation and drive down to like maybe like Utah or something, where when they had the keto Salt Lake, and I was like, there's just no way, because it would take me forever. So yeah. Just Renee says, yep, heck, driving across Texas is a day or more itself. Yeah, that's true. I wasn't really thinking about it all that great. I need another big bite, guys. It's so tasty. Mm. Mm. I think it even tastes better now that it's sat here a few minutes. It's been a long time since I've made this kind of salad, so it's really just hitting the spot. Oh, and J-Dog says they mapped it out with a better route planner, so they have all the Tesla chargers listed on I-10. I was telling my, I'm not sure who I was telling. It was someone. I was just telling my stories back in the day where I grew up. There used to be a sign on the exit that said last chance for gas, and that was before our vehicles were more fuel efficient, and they actually meant it, because to stop at my hometown, most vehicles at the time couldn't make it to the next fuel up if they didn't fuel up in our hometown. So wrong pipe. I'm pretty sure that a lot of people didn't pay attention to that, and then would often get stranded in the desert. Which was never a good thing. Let's see. Oh, and Sky's in a diesel pickup truck, so no charging station. Phew. But still, that does take quite a bit of El Dinero to drive the pickup truck. Oh, and the warden just ordered a Stuffler, and they're thinking about a Juicy Lucy in there. Oh, that would be good. I can't believe we're all buying this stuffed waffle maker, really with just like a couple influencers. And when I posted about it on my Facebook, a local friend who is also keto said that in the weird health group that he's in, the Stufflers were super popular too. I'm just guessing that group members are either watching the Two Crazy Ketos YouTube or the Serious Keto YouTube, since they are both like super huge and they both made Stuffler recipes about the same time. I'm certain that that has been a huge influence into all of us buying these gadgets. So really, Presto ought to give them, some kind of special deal of some sort, because them and Ninja, because both companies get so much press from both of these, and Blackstone. Oh, and Hungry He says they squarely blame it on Joe from 2KK. It's true. That sausage gravy stuffed truffle, I'm telling you, I'm gonna have to make some. Although my sausage gravy is way simpler, because I do love my keto chow, and the savory chicken is my favorite, and I use the beef broth for a lot of stuff. But honestly, for sausage gravy, I just cook my sausage, and then I just put in the heavy cream with some herbs and salt and pepper and reduce it. So it's way simpler for me that way. I don't have to add anything, and it comes out really tasty to me. Oh, Sharon says that the husband is now looking at a little waffle bowl maker. Oh, I have one of those waffle bowl makers, and I love it. They actually, I like to make the little bowls with the savory chicken keto chow and the gelatin recipe, and then I make like taco meat in them. Really good. And Reichwin says they blame the Stuffler on Steve from Serious Keto. You know what? I think that's where my desire for it came from first, because I did see that, and that cheese in there, and you know how I love cheese. It was the cheese, 100%, that did it. And he was using those baby bells, which I have because I love them. Yep. So, I'm sold. Plus, I'm a sucker for kitchen gadgets. I love kitchen gadgets, all of them. And I'm gonna have to get rid of some, because I have too many. All right, my salad's getting cold. I gotta get a big bite here. Chat amongst yourselves while I chew for a moment. Alright, I'll be good, and I won't shove like another big bite in there. And Renee is asking if mine is smaller than the original Stuffler. You know, I ordered it because it said it was mini. But I'm looking at this, and I feel like it is not smaller. It seems pretty large to me. So let's see what size the waffle comes out tomorrow when I make the chaffle, because honestly I bought the one because it was called mini, because I didn't want one as big as the Presto. I didn't think I could eat it that big of a chaffle with all that filling in there. But yeah, actually, hey, and J-Dog says we could do just a cheese and meat in the Stuffler without the waffle batter. And I was thinking omelet with chorizo and green onions and peppers. That would be amazing. But I was thinking turkey and cheddar. I was gonna do the chaffle though. I love chaffles, and my goal. I'm just worried that this is too big. I'm hoping that it works, because I want to make them and carry them in my bike jersey pocket for my lunch. So, oh yeah, I forgot. I was telling you about my bike ride. It was so good. I did go, instead of starting from the house and taking the big hill down, I went to where the trail starts, so that I would be able to just get right into the car, because I'm supposed to be taking it easy 2 to 3 weeks. And I did sit around for like a week in my house and just do like my daily steps, and just like it was painful, so I knew I needed the rest. But by yesterday I was going crazy. I was getting, quite frankly, very pissy around the house and not very nice and moody and just really suffering mentally. So I just couldn't take it. And I really, even starting out though, I was even resistant though. I was like, oh, grumble, 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 I gotta take it slow, I'm gonna be doing this, I'm gonna be doing a poor performance. And once I got going, like, my mind started to clear. I got to my favorite spot where I like to stop first, and was able to look out over the lake. And I talked to some other cyclists. I played with a couple little dogs, and then I just kept going. And by the time we got back to where the car was, I met up with Attila and we ate lunch in a restaurant, and like, my whole attitude changed. I felt so much better. So I know, even though I need to take it easy, I think just like, slowing down a little bit and not doing the bigger hills is probably going to be what I need to do for the next few weeks. Just sitting at home, not exercising, and not getting out, I think was probably hurting me more than the injury. So, and even today, my whole attitude has been better too, so I'm pretty good. Let's see. Oh, Reichwin says they bought the 5-inch stuffler as they didn't want a big waffle to eat. So yeah. And Roz has joined us and says they are the tools that make the job easier. Awesome. So I don't know. Let's see what we all come up with. Now that we all have these stufflers, I'm really looking forward to see all the different things that we stuff these chaffles with. I also made a corned beef today for the family, and maybe I'll steal some of it and go ahead and stuff one with some corned beef and sauerkraut, since I do have some sauerkraut. Oh, and Sky says that being in the outdoors is always good for one's mental health. So yeah, so awesome. I'm gonna stuff my face with another of these big shrimps. So, you know, come up with some good stuff in there while I'm eating. Spider. And of course now, the sun has started to go down and the temperature is perfect right now. There's like a light breeze. There's a squirrel burying things in my yard, which makes me a little irritated, but you know, they're gonna do that. They keep putting walnut shells on our table though, which I'm like, you know, I really wish the squirrels weren't sitting on our table. Oh, and then Raikkoon was saying they were thinking of a shrimp with some kind of cheese in there, but they ate the shrimp plain because it was too hot to cook. I love that. Oh, a Philly stuffler sounds great. Just Renee suggesting a Philly stuffler. Oh, that does sound good. And the other thing I was thinking that sounded good was like a take on the muffalata. Oh, with the olives and those vegetables in there, and then the ham. That's what I'm thinking. And Hungry, he says, now it's time for the coffee talk mukbang hour. Kinda. So. Oh, the Philly steak? You'd have to get like your, you'd make a kessel and your meats, your very thin sliced ribeye, super thin sliced, wafer thin ribeye, and some griddled onions. That would be awesome. You might want to, yeah, I don't know. That's what I'm thinking about the Philly stuffler. And Just Renee says, oh, that they agree, definitely a muffalata. Nice. So, All right, everyone. I will make sure that I make us a interesting stuffed waffle in the morning. It'll either be gloriously delightful or a massive camera fail, because I'm not going to test it first. We're just going to record and go for it. So I'll do that tomorrow, probably after I get back from a bike ride, because I'm going to try and go out in the early morning before the day gets warm. And now's your chance to ask any more questions, and otherwise we'll call it a night and go and enjoy our evening before, I forgot what I was saying. Yeah, we'll just go enjoy our evening before we have to go to bed. I know it's early for you guys down in the Southwest, but it's not that early here. So. Oh, and Sky says no room in the we pack 'em in for the more gadgets. So I don't know, we'll have to think about that, because I bet we could design some storage for you for the mini makers. They have high value. Oh, and Hungry He says no test for them either. They're gonna do their first cook live on the Friday night feast. I love that. All right. Oh, good night, Exchange Student 2. All right, I'm gonna stuff my face with this, and then I will clean my Blackstone and take everything inside, which now I don't feel like doing it, but it has to get done anyways. And Just Renee says they vote for more outdoor sessions. I agree, we will do more outdoor sessions. I love it. The only thing that will prevent it is probably come late July, it might become too stiflingly hot here, because that's where we hit that, what I refer to as Satan's front porch season. And while I love it a lot of the time, there comes a point where I'm just like, I need to be inside in the AC. So, all right. Good night, everyone. Good night, Lisa. I'll see you guys later. And, well, I'll see you tomorrow using our new stuffed waffle maker. All right, bye-bye. Over here.